What's going on, everybody? It's your Ath Geek Uche Nwaneri, and we have finally gotten the Snyder Cut. I'll be doing my review on that in this coming week. I'll be breaking my review down by chapters and reviewing each part of this epic released by Zack Snyder. Now, obviously, we've had a little bit of time to digest this content, to take a look at the movie. I've watched it multiple times. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. And, you know, like I said, I'll be talking more about that in another video, but I'd like to take a minute to focus on the Rotten Tomatoes response to this movie thus far. Now, we all know that there were going to be critics who were still going to, look at this movie in a way that maybe wasn't necessarily the best, but there was no denying that this movie is one that was much better than what was released in 2017, and the critics agree with that for the most part as well. As you can see here, we have the actual Rotten Tomatoes ratings from the Snyder Cut. The audience score right now with 25,000 plus reviews has this at 96%. And that basically means that the fans are really almost universally loving this movie. Now, the critics have it at 74%. Obviously, there's going to be some difference in opinion as you go down here and take a look at some of these reviews. Roxana Haddadi says, "I'm not saying superhero movies or comic book movies can't have the range. I'm just saying I'm not sure that Snyder does." And okay, everybody's gonna have their opinions. I don't think anybody's surprised that there's gonna be people who are gonna hate on this movie and hate on how it was presented by Zack Snyder. It's a 4-hour epic, and even within the media, you're seeing a lot of positive praise and a lot of good feedback for what this is doing, and kind of giving that peek into what could have been with Zack Snyder's DCEU. Now, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I think a lot of people are going to be wanting to get that movement going in the follow-up to this finally being dropped after years of speculation, after Zack dropping a bunch of different hints about how the story played out in his version, in the true version of Justice League. But we go on here, you see another critic here, Chris Stuckman. Everybody knows about Chris Stuckman. He's a great YouTube movie reviewer. He says the film is infinitely better. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a deeper, richer version. And he gives that a B+. We got Richard Roper here. He says, "Is this an improvement over the more straightforward and much shorter original?" Not to this reviewer, though I was in the minority who actually enjoyed the 2017 film. I think you can kind of understand where there might be a little bit of a different take on how this guy thinks that superhero movies should be made, and that's fine. You can have his opinion. He still gave it a fresh, even though it sounds like he maybe liked the 2017 version just as much. Tim Grierson, who also has a review, says, "While Snyder's version can certainly be stunning, it's ultimately undone by excesses and underlying flaws of an overstuffed story." Now, obviously, again, everybody's going to have their opinion on this. I don't agree with that statement at all. I think that if anything, in this version, we got a fully fleshed out story arc for each and every character that really did show their motivations for being involved in this uniting of the original, or their original in the Snyderverse, the original cast for the Justice League. These guys came together and had different motivations. You look at Cyborg. Cyborg is learning how to reinsert himself in the world in any way he can. He is now a digital god by all senses of our imagination in the movie. That's just Cyborg. He's motivated himself to accept who he is and to rejoin into society in some degree by getting with the Justice League, by finding a new purpose. And I think that obviously is the heart of the story within the film: finding your purpose, finding your courage, finding the strength to fight. And he did that. Wonder Woman, obviously, she has a little bit of vengeance on her mind for what happened to her sisters at Themyscira at the beginning of the movie when Steppenwolf went through, and they ended up having to destroy the temple that the Mother Box was in. Flash obviously is looking to, also find a purpose for himself and a way to forward his narrative of getting his father's innocence proven and getting into criminal justice. So there's another story arc there that's connected and fleshed out very well. We got those beats in the 2017 movie, but not necessarily the best portrayal of Barry Allen as the Flash. I think this was a much better portrayal of Barry Allen. But that obviously I'll get into more detailed content as far as that goes in my review. But there were plenty of different story arcs where each individual was given their motivations for being a part of the Justice League. I know that the majority of the audience goers who saw this, 96% of them, think that this was an amazing movie. I think this was an amazing, excellent, epic movie. It's not absolutely perfect, but I think it's about as close to perfect as you're going to get when it comes to the superhero epic. This truly did have a feel of a movie like The Lord of the Rings. It was a globe-trotting, epic, surreal kind of action comic book movie that had deep narrative and actually gave layers to the characters that go just beyond some of the more recent comic book films that we've seen that maybe don't dig that deep into the psyche or into the motivations of certain characters. But everything is subjective. This is all art. I, for one, again, say that this is the best DC movie that I've seen from the DCEU, and really it's their best movie since the Dark Knight trilogy series, if I'm being honest in how I view it. I think those movies, I think The Dark Knight and Justice League are very close in the importance that they hold for the DC movie platform. So we'll see how things turn out after this. Is there going to be any discussion of restoring the Snyderverse? We don't know. But if these HBO Max numbers come out to be overwhelmingly positive, I think it's only right and it only makes sense to look at that as the next step to try and find a way to make that happen. But let me know what you guys think. 96% on Rotten Tomatoes from the fans, 74% from the critics. Justice League has landed. It's trended for multiple days. Let me know what you guys think of the movie. Leave your comments down below in the comment section. Hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe to the Athgeek Uche Nwaneri if you haven't already done so. Appreciate you guys so much for checking this video out, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.